Hey guys, did you know that the key to clearing anxiety and fear and what's been called imposter syndrome, the key is not trying to change your mindset or trying to change your thoughts or your beliefs? I'm Ralph Havens, and I'm going to show you what I used. I'm a medical intuitive healer, 36 years of training, and I'm going to tell you something about hierarchy of protection. And it's what's going on, what I've found that's going on, that's in the way of people clearing, really healing from anxiety and the fears and the imposter syndrome, so they can do what they want to do in life, get the business and life they want, and do good in the world, reach their dream customers, and make more money. And so here's the thing. So the key is, it's not your fault, one, that if you're dealing with, let me first tell you, if you're here and you're an online entrepreneur and you know there's some mindset stuff, some inner stuff to clear up, this is for you. If you're a mom or a dad, or you're trying to do good for your family and you know there's some kind of block, some sort of, you're dealing with anxiety, or there's some kind of angst that keeps showing up, and you know there's something in you that's just not quite working to get things, to get ahead in the world the way you really want to, then this is for you. If you're kind of like, well, I don't believe in any of this mumbo jumbo, and I don't really want to work on any inner stuff. I just want to get the, just tell me how to make money, or just do stuff without really going into the deep stuff. It's not for you. But if you're here to heal this inner stuff, the anxiety and the fear, then this is for you. So here's the thing. The deal is, your body is protecting you from something, and it isn't your fault. It's not your fault if you're dealing with fear or anxiety or some sort of big challenge. The thing is, there's a protection going on, and it's kind of like a cut. So if you have a cut, for example, a cut heals, and it's a miracle. God heals a cut. When a cut doesn't heal and you keep trying to put stitches on it and it doesn't heal, maybe it's infected and it needs antibiotics and you need to get rid of the infection, and now it heals. Or maybe there's a diabetic thing going on and the blood sugar is out of control and you just need to get the blood sugar under control, and now it heals. There's many reasons why a cut wouldn't be healing. And so instead of trying to force it to heal, you can go find out, why is it not healing? What is it protecting you from? And shift that, heal that, and then the body can heal. And it's the same way with this anxiety and fear and depression and imposter syndrome. When I was in San Diego, I had a successful physical therapy practice, Mission Hills Physical Therapy, a beautiful house in Mission Hills, a German sports sedan. Life was good, but I was hiding something. I had a severe anxiety problem. My hands would literally sweat. They would sweat. And it was something I tried to hide, and it was very shameful, but I still did what I did. Now, there was something, I used to run 70, 80, 90 miles a week, and part of the reason I did that was because it controlled my anxiety. So, but there came a time when all of a sudden I couldn't run, and I had a spasm in my leg that just wouldn't go away for 8 months. And it was getting out of control. My anxiety was off the charts. I went to a woman who put her hand on my foot and said, "You've got a problem with your heart." And so she worked on me, on my heart, for 2 hours, and then I could run. I went for a run 2 days later, and it was good to go. Now, I started studying with this and went 110 classes over 10 years and spent a lot of money, a lot of time. And my therapist learned this method too. And along the way, my anxiety went away, and my sweaty hand issue went away, and my teeth quit having cavities. So I had been protecting myself from something around my heart, physical stuff around my heart, and it was why I was having all these symptoms. Now, I'd been trying to control my anxiety through meditation and think differently, and change your thoughts and beliefs, and meditate and hypnosis and all this stuff. But my body was protecting me, and it wasn't going to let that go. Kind of like the cut. It just I needed to find the cause of this stuff. And so when that healed, I didn't have to have the anxiety or the fear or all that sort of stuff anymore. Now, you might be thinking, well, how the heck do you do that, Ralph? And how would you do that if you're dealing with fears and anxiety? So in the next segment, I'm going to tell you exactly how this works and how you can do it for yourself as well. All right, so in this segment, this is about how to find what that is that your body's protecting you from. Now, and how do you do it? Now, you might be thinking, well, I'm not very good at meditating. I'm not very good at feeling stuff. I don't know how to do healing work. Is this something I can do? Now, the thing is, if you can touch your if you can touch yourself and feel that, or if you can touch and feel, you can feel your shirt on your body, or you can feel yourself sitting on the chair, you've got enough skill to do this. Now, the thing is though, it's a simple process, but I missed it for my whole life. And I'd been told this exact process decades ago by many different healers and teachers and coaches and spiritual teachers, my Qigong master, different therapy people, and I had missed it all these years. And the reason is there's something that happens. Let me back up a little bit. I want to tell the story of Bridget. The idea that, can you do this if you don't know how to feel stuff? Bridget reached out to me for one of our sessions. We did a session and a group session, and she was in there, and she had been stuck at $3,000 a month. She had a Facebook ad agency, and she knew how to do Facebook ads, and she had worked for Facebook, and she knew the algorithms, but she was stuck at $3,000 a month. And so we went in and did this process of finding out what is she protecting herself from? What is going on? And she knew she had some fears and anxieties and stuff going on. She would even called it imposter syndrome. And we found it, and we cleared it. And I'm going to tell you how we did that. And in that 24-hour period, she sent me a wonderful screenshot. I'll put it here. She made $8,000. One 24-hour period after doing this process and doing this kind of healing work. And so she hired me, and we started working together. And in the first month, she made $20-something thousand, $22,000, I believe. And the next month, $50,000. And the next month, $50,000. And she just told me that she's never ever going to not work with me, because beyond the mountains are more mountains as you go through your entrepreneurial journey, right? So but what's cool is she got some stuff that I can't tell you about. That's lifelong stuff that she's wanted since she was a little girl, and so wonderful things happened in her relationships and in her life in all sorts of ways. And so you might be thinking, okay, well, how the heck do we do that? So here's the thing. This type of healing, it's kind of like the internet. And you know how the internet has all these different possibilities, URLs. You could log on with your computer or your phone and get all these different URLs, all these different possibilities, all these different websites and information. And what you're protecting yourself from is like one of those URLs. Now, when you touch it, and this is what I do, this is why it's useful to do it with me. When you touch it, you can, and I'm the one that helps you access this, do this. It's like touching a URL and logging on to a whole new possibility, and it just starts to make things happen. And that's how Bridget got that $8,000 that first 24-hour period. It's how a guy reached out to me, and during the session, he had a call come in that he missed, and then he went back, and it was like a call to a free consult that he was doing, and it was his first high-ticket client. It's how Vitaly told us that during the call, his phone kept beeping, and he had a record number of sales over the next day and when he woke up the next morning. And he's like, you got to teach me this, man. And so we got on another session, and I did teach him. And it's how Courtney, during her session, she cleared some deep stuff around getting her message out to the world, and her migraines went away. And then another week or so later, she messaged me back. I'll put that in there here as well. And in her words, it was really unusual opportunities, big opportunities came to her and her husband in their business. So how do you do that? There's a way to go find that URL. And the key is you're not going to do it with your mind. Now, the key is to have somebody guide you and just kind of learn a process of finding it. Because when you find it, we can touch it and it starts to unravel. It starts to do itself. It starts to heal itself. And it can sound all weird and metaphysical, but it's very practical and a way that you can actually do it yourself. You don't have to have special ninja skills. You just gotta have somebody that shows you how to do it, because it's very easy to miss. And I'm gonna tell you why it's easy to miss in the next segment that's a little deeper. So look for that in just a sec. All right, so here's the next part. So, to heal this inner blocks, the inner stuff that's in the way of business and life success, that fear, that anxiety, that imposter syndrome, you got to be able to find what is it your body's protecting you from. And that's what we do together. There's a way to go find it, kind of like a URL, and you touch it, and it runs a whole pattern. Oh, look at all these wonderful deer. Hey, dear. They can feel energy. I'll let you guys just look at these guys. There's a whole bunch of them. Is that cool or what? All right, so yeah, that's a good sign. Animals can feel this stuff. So, and you might be feeling this stuff now as well. Now, the funny thing is, the reason most people will never do this is because it's so simple. And there's another reason. When I'll tell a little story. When I was set to go see a practitioner to clear deep stuff and find that bit of information for me, stuff that was in the way. I wanted to live in the Pacific Northwest, but I didn't know how. And I did this technique, this process with him, and a different way of doing it, but very similar. And within a few months, we had left San Diego and we were in the Northwest looking for our new home. Now, I almost didn't make it to that appointment. And the reason is, I had a terrible earache, so I wasn't gonna get on a plane. I thought I was gonna blow out my ear. And it ended up healing up enough, and by 5 in the morning, I thought, I think I can get on the plane, and I got on the plane. So the next day I was at this guy's office, and I told him this story, and he said, this happens to a lot of people. They cancel on the last minute before their appointment, or they just don't show up. And what happens is, it's kind of like being at a door. And if you go through that door, you're gonna leave some stuff behind. And this is a bit deep, so, you know, this is deep. What you're gonna leave behind is the ego, the false sense of who you are, who you think you are. Because, you know, you're more than flesh and bones, you know, you're spirit, but not in some just isn't a nice way to think. These guys know, these deer know. And it's because they don't have a mind having them trying to think. These guys aren't trying to think differently. They don't have beliefs. They're just being what they are. So when you go to this URL that's in the internet of you, of all the possibilities, there's a door. And I take us to that door. And there's a decision, because to go through the door, you're going to leave behind the false you, the stuff that's not you. And you might be thinking, well, that sounds really hard, Ralph, or oh my God, this is getting too crazy. I don't think I can do this. The thing is, it's really simple. And the reason most people won't do it is because it's simple, and because it's kind of scary to think that you're going to leave behind all these thoughts, these limiting beliefs and thoughts of who you think you are, that you've got anxiety and fear and imposter syndrome, and that you can't do this or you can't do that, or there's a reason you can't do this because of your parents. And so that's the thing. And so this isn't for everybody, but it's for you if you want to really clear this stuff and actually heal from anxiety and fear and imposter syndrome, and not just band-aid it or think differently or try to change your beliefs, or, you know, jump up on your trampoline or take cannabis, or, you know, if you want to really heal it, there's a way to go find what it is your body's protecting you from and actually heal it. And that's what we do. Now, in the next segment, I'm going to talk about the external world a bit more, and because you might be thinking like, oh my goodness, this is sounding very strange and very weird, and what is my wife or my husband going to think, or what is the rest of the world going to think, or, you know, should I really be doing this kind of stuff? So look for that in just a sec. All right, so when you come to that door of do you want to go through it and let go of these limiting beliefs and thoughts, but in a way that's getting right to the core of why those thoughts and beliefs were there in the first place? When you get to that point, some doubts can show up, like, you know, what is your spouse going to think? What is your family or friends going to think? You know, and the thing is, so this isn't for everybody, but it's not so hard. And it's the kind of thing, you know, when I first learned this way of doing stuff, we were stuck. We were out by Mount Baker. It's out that a ways. And we couldn't figure out the online business part of making a healing practice work. I knew I could do healing work with people from all over the world, and I had a few clients, but we needed to figure out the business side. And so I started doing this work, and my wife said, what are you doing, man? Because people started finding us on YouTube, and a doctor in Bellingham started sending people out of the blue, very unexpected, and people were finding me. And I said, I'm doing this thing. It's hardly even a meditation. So I started doing it with my clients. And my clients were telling me it was an old ancient tradition and old ancient Zen technique and Buddha technique and yogi technique. And the thing is, I saw a woman that would have her foot pop out and she would fall 2 or 3 times a day after having had a car wreck when she was a teenager. And here she was in her 40s. And we did this technique and her foot never popped out again. After clearing this, I saw somebody that got over his fear of heights. I saw people that cleared all sorts of deep inner stuff that I saw miracles happen even beyond what I had seen before. So the results are what can convince your friends and your family, and they're going to be asking you, like, what are you doing? Because I think a lot of people want to live in a magical world, kind of like how we thought as kids, you know, that anything's possible. And what I found is it is possible. And if stuff can happen, it can unhappen, literally. And miracles do happen every day. And there's a way, even if you're not a ninja healer and your healing isn't your thing, but you're just trying to make money and you know there's something in the unseen world, the mindset world, there's something about beliefs and thoughts. There's a way to do this without having to try to change your thoughts and your beliefs. And that's what we have. And it's something that I can teach you and I can do it with you. And it's about finding out what is it your body's protecting you from. Because once we find it, we can literally touch it like a URL and activate a whole unwinding, a whole healing. And then you don't have to protect yourself from whatever that was. And you can get back and do the stuff, your business will work and your life works and you start to see things happen in more magical and synchronous ways. So that's what I have and that's what we do. And if this resonates with you, and I'm saying, when I say that, I don't mean do you think this sounds good? I'm asking you to go in your heart and how does it feel? How does it feel? Does it feel true? For some it won't feel true and this is all gobbledygook, but if it's speaking to you, if this video is still up, then you can chat with me. Just click the button. There'll be a button here somewhere, up in here or down here, and click the button and we can meet and we can go over what is going on with you, what's in the way for you, what is it your body's protecting you from, so that we can heal that, and then thoughts and beliefs change and life can get better and you can get the business and life that you want. You know, that's how we got to live where we want to live and do what we want to do in the world. There's an American eagle literally flying over. I don't know if you guys can see that. And the thing is, right now the world needs us. The world needs us. If you can heal something, if you can do something good for somebody, if you can help somebody make money and provide for their family and their look at that American eagle. The world needs us now. The world needs us. It's the entrepreneurs that are going to help change the world, and the moms and dads and the people that are willing to go in and really clear this inner stuff. There he goes. So having that freedom to do what you want to do and live how you want to live. If this is interesting to you, if you want to meet with me, let's chat and just click the button and I can help you find what's going on. So much love to all you guys. Let's get out there, let's heal ourselves and heal the world and make things better for people. All right, you guys, I'll show you around Bellingham, Washington.
All of that clarity and all of the, I guess, unsurety that I had in my life, it all vanished and kind of clarity took up its place, and I had complete alignment over who I was and how I wanted to impact the world through my gifts. And I know that it sounds unbelievable, but trust me and trust the dozens of other people around me in the testimonials, because Ralph is the real deal.
But what's interesting is that since I've done that session, there's been some really interesting opportunities that have come my way for various different things, just really out of the blue, you know, clients calling us from out of the blue, bringing us clients. Yeah, so that's just something that I've really noticed, is that a lot of very interesting opportunities, big opportunities, actually really big opportunities have come my way ever since I did the session with Ralph.
Less than a week with working with him, my business tripled by 3 figures. So all I can really say is I truly believe it's the work that he's done, the energy work that he's done with me, the focusing on the problem areas and just acknowledging them, throwing love to them, and moving forward from them. So just again, I recommend Ralph and his services to everybody, especially if you're an entrepreneur launching your business or scaling your business.
Yeah, so it's funny because you have helped me immensely with my imposter syndrome, right? Because prior to working with you, I was closing maybe $3,000 a month. After I started working with you, boom, $22,000 a month, boom, $50,000 a month, boom, $50,000 a month, right?
After our conversation, I had a look and those were all notifications about sales coming in. For my surprise, there was even after we finished conversation, I woke up next morning to the record number of sales like I ever had. How cool is that? I don't even know what it's called, what you've done, whatever it was, but I definitely want to talk again to you. I definitely want to know what you've done, and I want to practice that myself so I can do whatever it was myself, because it was amazing. It's just unbelievable. How can that happen? I don't know. You need to teach me that, man.
Some dear friends and even dear family members that I hadn't seen in a long time, just because of the busyness of everyday life and everything. They've come back into my life, and it's just been wonderful to reunite with people who mean a lot to me. So if you're thinking about partnering with Ralph Havens, I highly suggest that you do. And I'm sure that you'll have wonderful breakthroughs, just like I did, and that you'll be feeling more healthy, more happy, and more whole.
I really have to say that Ralph is really helping me a lot in my everyday life. And I feel supported with his work, inspired, and I can see a big shift going on in a daily life and in the direction where I want to go. And so I'm very thankful for his work.
I remember the first time you did this thing, I had some stress kind of like at the back of my neck and that little triangle at the back of my neck. And you stood behind me with a piece of paper. You did something with a piece of paper and you put it close to my neck, and I could feel the tension completely drain away. And I thought, this guy is awesome. He really knows what he's doing. And it was instantaneous. And that's what really shocked me.
Once we started working together, the walking thing where my whole right side of my body would just kind of quit functioning at some point, that just kind of went away. And the sleep thing shifted really dramatically for me. There was a lot of neck and shoulder stuff that old injuries that accident kind of awakened, and I had big shifts with that. And and then I just kind of kept on working with you because in my 20 years working in the healing arts, I'd seen a lot of amazing things happen, and with you, the work that you were doing, combining matrix energetics and integrative manual therapy, the level of healing that I watched happen with me, and with when we would interact in some of those group settings and you'd be working on people, I just saw phenomenal shifts in myself and person after person. And so I've kind of been working with you ever since then.
Working with Ralph really gave me my mojo back, and other areas of my life worked well. And I just would have no doubts in recommending Ralph and his work to anybody that is in need. And my only thing is just be open to it, be open to the process, and be open to what he can do in your life.
I've worked with energy healers all over the world, tons and tons, and spent hours and hours and hours. And what I love about Ralph was, one, he has the most amazing energy. He's so caring and so gentle and caring, but very, very powerful. And what I've been trying to clear for like 2.5 years, he just went straight in, and literally it was relieved within, I would say, 10 minutes.
I've actually been back on, I finished the final draft of my book a couple months ago, and now I'm actually on target to finish it by the end of the month, as well as finally shooting my course. So I've definitely been feeling a lot less pain, as well as I'm finally back on track to finishing everything up fully and launching it.